Now, with all of that said, FL Studio has some major changes that they need to make here in the very near future. I am an FL Studio user. I love FL Studio. But there are certain things that I will talk about shortly that FL Studio has to add in order to truly be considered on par with the other digital audio workstations. And despite what countless experts on the internet might lead you to believe, recording, mixing, and mastering in FL Studio has came a very long way. And I mean, let's face it, it's not 2005 anymore. ImageLine has made so many updates, which have all been free, by the way. And the software has just become so much more than a beat making software. And if you don't believe that to be true, I really challenge you to drop your outdated opinions and objectively open up FL Studio and take a look. Recording vocals and really any type of audio inside FL Studio has been streamlined to resemble the workflow of popular DAWs. You can load plugins on any track just like you can in any other DAW. You can adjust volume, panning, and automate almost any parameter inside FL. And the routing, in my opinion, is just simple. You just route the output wire to wherever you want to output your audio signal. It makes the process of creating buses, sends, and sidechaining things just very straightforward. Pro Tools and Logic users have to scroll through these confusing numbered lists of buses that they have to create, which is fine. I'm not really sure that makes anything easier. And to me, it goes without saying the beat making process in FL is very easy. Now, with all of that said, FL Studio has some major changes that they need to make here in the very near future. Because even with everything that they've added, we have to be honest, they're still a little behind. Number one, they need to add ARA technology. If you're not familiar with ARA, it stands for Audio Random Access. And essentially, it allows plugins like Melodyne and VocalLine to instantly access and analyze your audio file. Currently, you have to record your audio into these type of plugins in order for them to see the audio, which is a very outdated and inefficient workflow, especially considering that most other DAWs have already added this feature. It makes manual pitch correction and time alignment so much easier. Now, something else that has to be added is hardware inserts. So currently, if you want to use outboard gear, meaning you want to route your signal out of FL Studio and into a hardware compressor or something like that, you can only do that at the very end of your track's audio signal. And then when you want to return that signal back into FL Studio, you have to return it on a whole separate track. This is not efficient. And the fix is very simple. Allow us to route the signal path out from the plugin chain and then return it to that same spot within the plugin chain. That way you could have an EQ plugin processing your vocals, then you could send the vocal out to a hardware compressor and then back in to go to the next plugin. I know that Pro Tools makes hardware inserts very easy. I know Logic Pro has a plugin that allows you to route things in and out. There has to be something that ImageLine can do to make incorporating outboard gear much easier. Now, I might get a lot of slack for this next one, but I believe that they should make a GUI update to the Fruity Parametric EQ2. When it comes to EQ, there's really only three basic controls: frequency, Q value, and gain. And the way that the current plugin is set up, none of these controls are in plain sight. Take a look at the stock EQ that's offered within Pro Tools. It's just a night and day difference. It's simple and effective. Everything is in plain sight and it's labeled. So I really believe that they can make updates to the Parametric EQ2 to speed up our workflow within the plugin. And not to mention, they could go above and beyond and give us the ability to make any EQ point dynamic with attack and release settings. And to continue on about the stock plugins, please update the Fruity compressor. I mean, this thing doesn't even have a gain reduction meter. And I know what all of you are gonna say, just use the compressor section on the Fruity limiter. Okay, well, y'all can do that, but that is just letting ImageLine off the hook. They made the Fruity compressor for a reason. It's a standalone stock compressor plugin, so it needs to be updated because it's pretty much unusable to anyone trying to mix their song utilizing stock FL Studio plugins. And there needs to be a stock de-esser plugin. And I know that people are creating these presets using Maximus or Patcher, but it's really not too much to ask to have a simple and dedicated de-esser plugin with an actual interface that was designed for the user to de-ess their vocal. People working in FL Studio should not have to jump through all of these hoops and create these makeshift solutions to problems that have such easy solutions. There needs to be dedicated plugins for certain jobs. There's a reason that third-party plugin companies sell plugins specifically specifically for de-essing vocals. There's a reason that they sell dedicated compressor plugins that have gain reduction meters on them. If you want to be a complete digital audio workstation, meaning people can produce, record, mix, and master, you should at the very least have a good selection of some basic stock plugins that anyone who's new to mixing or mastering or producing can use to learn and produce their own music. All right, so these are my suggestions for the FL Studio updates in the near future. Let me know in the comments what you want to see from Imageline going forward. And don't forget to like, share, and subscribe to the channel if you enjoyed the video, and I'll see y'all in the next one.